Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and Castleford already out on the field this evening. Jason Flowers is their fullback at 21, and then Chris Smith is at number 2. He's on the wing. Grant Anderson, Adrian Vole, Simon Middleton, they're the three quarters. Danny Orr, Mike Ford are the halves. Dean Sampson, Richard Russell, Nathan Sykes, Andrew Schick and Ian Tonks are the second row pairing with Brendan Tutor, the baby-faced assassin as he was known a few years ago. That loose forward. Richard Gay, Paul Smith, Dickon Edwards, Spencer Hargrave are the substitutes, and the roar of fireworks will tell you that it's the Rhinos about to come out now. So a tumultuous round of applause, 2 mascots this evening. Tremendous sight there as Leeds, and it really is Phil a tremendous sight.
It really is a tremendous atmosphere. Again, it's almost impossible to hear yourself speak and think when the fireworks are going off. Last man out for Leeds, Iestyn Harris, and already he's looking very much a Rhino. And the team tonight will be looking to carry on the good work from last Friday night and try and get consecutive victories in Super League, which would, of course, take Leeds into the top 4.
Yes, and just going through the Leeds team, and interesting to say, I watched the video of the St Helens game on Friday night, and the crowd were chanting there's only one Iestyn Harris. Well, you've made it when the crowd chant that here at Leeds.
That's right. He's played 120 minutes so far in a blue and amber shirt, and he's already getting legendary status. And well, I don't think it'll be long before he's as revered as some of the most famous names that have ever played for the club.
Well, Leeds line up with Damien Gibson at fullback, Paul Sterling, Richie Blackmore, Phil Hassan, Marcus St-Hilaire. The halves are Iestyn Harris and Ryan Sheridan, Martin Marcello, Wayne Collins, Jamie Matthew. The forwards with Adrian Morley, Anthony Farrell and Gary Mercer, the making up the pack. Cummins, Fozzard, Field and Holroyd are the substitutes, and it's really nice to see Francis Cummins back in the side this evening.
Yeah, he's been a star performer since he turned professional at the age of 17, and got nothing but praise for him. He's already broken records. There's several more for him to attain, and I think he could well be one of the biggest stars this game's ever seen. But certainly look at that Leeds bench, all players that have come through the Leeds junior ranks. We talked about it earlier. It's just a sign of the way things are going at Headingley, and let's hope that the match lives up to all the pre-match hype as far as Leeds are concerned.
Well, Castleford tonight's visitors, they'll be looking to put one over on Leeds. They didn't win here last season. They were virtually the only decent side that lost here last season.
Yes, probably the best victory Leeds had in Super League was here against Castleford.
And Iestyn Harris starts the game, and again we're a little bit late with the kick-off. It's nearly 25-7, and Castleford just running the ball forward back up towards the 20-metre line, and Castleford looking to move that ball forward again there in the tackle. Good tackling coming in from Leeds, from Richie Blackmore, Andrew Schick, Gary Mercer, and a penalty there, Leeds, for a round the neck tackle from Stuart Cummins. So that's his signal, his intentions early in the piece tonight. Going to have no tackles over the shoulder.
No, we talked early on about the referees, and as long as they're consistent, that's all you can ask. He said he's stall out. He said very early on that he's going to penalise the high tackle. Let's hope he carries that through. Nathan
Sykes just charging forward, and Castleford are just inside the Leeds half of the field, and the ball spinning back towards the halfway line as Castleford look to go through. Good defence from Iestyn Harris there on number 12 for Castleford. And they don't appear to have a number 12 on their team sheet.
Brendan Tutor's 12, I think.
Oh, Brendan Tutor. He's down as 13 here, but never mind. We watch Mike Ford just dropping off, looking to bring Dean Sampson barging through, and what a sight Sampson looks with his head shaved.
Yeah, you've got Sampson and Tonks both with shaved heads, and that's going to make them look fearsome, if nothing else.
Castleford up to the Leeds 10-metre mark. It's up to the last tackle. Leeds defence have caught pretty well. Mike Ford's in at dummy half. He's looking to put a little chip over, and they've probably noticed that Leeds didn't particularly play very well in the game from kicks. A couple of kicks were fumbled in the St Helens game by the Rhinos, including the one that led to the Bobby Golding try at the end.
Again, no, a bit of a nothing chip there from Mike Ford. He's obviously only been there a very short length of time. It was a good set of 6 from Castleford. They got up the pitch quite well, but nothing much on the end of it. And we've got Paul Sterling with his new sort of greyish boots.
There's some good charging forward there from Martin Marcello up to the 20-metre line, and somehow, Phil, there doesn't quite seem to be the atmosphere and excitement tonight.
No, well, I think it's going to be one of those occasions where really the players are going to have to put something special on before the crowd get really excited, and it's something to do with the relative positions of these clubs.
Well, Blackmore just trying to find a way through, and no way through, and eventually he gets one round the neck, and the referee says that's a penalty, so Iestyn Harris can look to fine touch.
Well, we called for consistency and we've certainly had it, and Iestyn Harris takes a quick tap, and that's good to see.
Up to halfway line before he... and the bugler comes out in force again there, the crowd loving him. And again another penalty for a flop tackle coming in there. It was number 9 Richard Russell that's perpetrated that offence, so Leeds now a really good chance, Phil, to put some pressure on in attack.
Yep, it's the first time really Leeds have been down in the Castleford half, and they've got to make it pay.
And just in front of us, Phil Larder, the Sheffield coach, he'll be looking to pick up some tips for Sunday.
Yeah, we should have given him a blindfold when he came up here.
Martin Marcella just drives the ball forward, so Leeds just in front of the north stand side, looking to drive forward with the props. That's Anthony Faddle, gets the ball off Jamie Matthew. Again, plays up to that 20 metre mark before they're brought down. And Leeds just 15 metres in from touch on the north stand side. Morley now, switching play again. Collins brings Iestyn Harris in, and quite a lot of play there, and a forward pass has been given. And really Leeds playing a lot of football there and getting absolutely nowhere, Phil.
Well, again, probably, I don't know if that was a called move for Adrian Morley to switch the ball back on the outside to Wayne Collins, but the referee from a while away picked a forward pass, and he was actually probably right, but it was unnecessary really to come back in. We had the back line set, we should have gone with that.
So on the 20 metre mark, tackle there, Castleford winning the scrum, centre field, moving the ball back towards the north stand side here. Then Castleford are playing with their backs to the scoreboard, that means they're playing towards the pavilion end of the ground. And Leeds, of course, attacking that scoreboard. And Tuta just driving forward. He's indeed number 12. Just watch Sampson there. Oh, that looked a forward pass a mile, and it's gone away with it there. And it's Adrian Voles, I think, who was going up there. He gets a good pass out there, and the pass from Sampson looked a mile forward, Phil.
He did. Everybody looked round to see the referee giving it, and he didn't. And there's Vowles in support, and Chris Smith very nearly away. And
the chip over is for Damien Gibson. He can allow that to run dead. And we've been playing approximately 4 minutes now on the clock. Still 0-0. Leeds 0, Castleford 0. The Rhinos versus the Tigers. And the referee not allowing play, and that's a facet that's come into the modern game. It's crept in. It's not whether it's an edict from the Rugby League, but players are not being allowed to take a quick tap now at the 20 metres as long as there is a player offside from one of the other clubs.
Well, I think again you're doubly penalising the team there, because really if they can take a quick tap penalty and catch the opposition offside a second time, they should have the advantage of the extra 10 metres. But as you say, it's trying to even it down, and Leeds have got their third penalty, and they're on the charge.
And Damien Matthew leads that charge into the Castleford half of the field, just 6-7 metres inside the Castleford half, as Gary Mercer carrying the ball on, playing the best rugby of his career at Leeds, certainly for the last 3 or 4 years. Having a great season this season. Iestyn Harris now with the ball in his hands, floats a lovely ball out to Sheridan. Sheridan running, brings back inside for Anthony Faddle. Faddle gets the ball back to Morley. Morley's got a bit of space, he runs into one man, knocks off another, finds Harris again. Harris finds Marcella. Marcella can't get the ball away. Good defence there from Castleford. That was a flowing move from Leeds. It was Grant Anderson who got in the way there. And Mercer, arcing run of his, runs round almost through the gap, not quite, up to the 20 metre mark, touchline side. Sterling goes from dummy half. He can afford to do that at this stage of the game. Last tackle coming up now, and Harris wants the ball in his hands, and he'll get that ball from Collins. Good pass there, and Harris looking to put long ball, short ball for Adrian Morley. Turns round, Morley's thrown the ball back for Harris, but unfortunately Harris was nowhere near. The man near was Richard Russell for Castleford.
Poor option on the sixth tackle there, gave possession away. Adrian Morley looking for someone to give the ball to, because he was going to be tackled in possession, and only found Richard Russell, who's now darting away from acting halfback. So we've got Castleford coming away now over the halfway line with Mike Ford. And Mike Ford, that's a gap. Simon Middleton, little bit of try for Castleford. Inside ball for Grant Anderson. Simon Middleton's ball, and really some sloppy defending there from Leeds. Yeah, missed tackle by Gary Mercer, and you can't do that against Castleford. Put Middleton away. Middleton's a pacey lad, but on the inside coming across was Grant Anderson, and he takes the score round under the post, and not the start Leeds would have wanted. But one missed tackle just shows you against any opposition they're going to come up with a try.
That's right, and it was a good break there from Simon Middleton. It was obvious that either he would score himself or the support would, because there was only Damien Gibson with that sort of pace and he couldn't cover both men. So Castleford, the start that they wanted, they've been very disappointing in recent weeks. I'm sure it's only a matter of time before they get things right, and I'm sure that as far as the Rhinos are concerned, they won't want it to be tonight that they put things right.
That will certainly give them confidence if they were lacking. They broke the defensive line very easily. It was a one man-on-man tackle missed, and you just can't do that, particularly when there's people like Mike Ford out there, and he'll make you pay.
That's right, well, perhaps this will be the catalyst that Leeds realise that it's not going to be a walkover. Very reminding me of the way Leeds have played in the opening few minutes, Phil, of the game at Halifax.
Yes, very much so. Started slowly and got stronger as the game went on, but they'd left themselves too much to do. And interesting to see that Tonks is doing the kicking.
Yes, Ian Tonks converts. Castleford 6, Leeds 0.
And Dean Bell will be hoping that that's the only points Castleford score tonight. Disappointing for Leeds. They've come in here on a big high, different expectation. Poor 6-tackle option between Morley and Harris, and they paid the penalty.
And so we see Mike Ford looking to kick off now, 6-0 to the Tigers. 8 minutes gone. Kick spins downfield. Sheridan's lost it in the sun. Just holds his hands up there, and Morley comes away with the football. It's going to require big gains from some of these forwards now. Leeds have really got to take this game to Castleford. They've had 3 penalties to 1 at the moment, Leeds, and they really haven't made the most of anything. They've struggled to get any ground going, but of course all clubs are feeling the pinch with extra games. Castleford played on Sunday. They didn't want to come here tonight, and Leeds played on Friday. And good running down the field there again from Matthew finds Collins, but Collins can't do anything there except take the tackle. Morley's turn now to drive forward.
And again, Morley's put a lot of work in, but Leeds in those 5 tackles haven't broken over the halfway line. Ieston
Harris steps the attempted charge down of his kick, and he manages to split the defence. All Leeds are offside, so they can wait now, and Stuart Cummins just signals to play on. And number 21 for Castleford, which is Jason Flowers, just run the ball out. And again, Leeds allowing Castleford a little bit too much room on that far side over near the south stand.
They certainly can't afford to do that with Chris Smith on that wing, because he's one of the fastest players in Super League, and Leeds are dropping off their defence, not moving up as a line as quickly as we've seen them against Wigan and St Helens.
Long ball comes out here for Andrew Schick, and now it's Grant Anderson's turn, the try scorer, and a man who again didn't settle at Halifax. We've seen another one for Castleford this evening, although he's not playing, Lee Harland. 2 to chips over. Sheridan's made a right pig's ear of that one, dropping the ball under no pressure whatsoever. Cass have 6 more tackles, and there's really nobody to beat, and this could be a second try for Castleford. Somehow somebody got back and tackled Mike Ford. It was number 5, it was
Phil Hassan and Damien Gibson.
And Samson now puts the ball out. That's knocked down by Collins. That'll be 6 more tackles. So Leeds at the moment, Phil, just look at an absolute ragbag outfit.
That's right, they're absolutely at 6s and 7s.
Nathan Sykes just driving forward, and quality player Nathan Sykes. Russell goes from dummy half.
And he dropped the ball, I think.
Dropped the ball. The referee's going to give the try, though. I don't think there's a problem there.
I think he better, if he consults with an in-goal touch judge, he'll say he dropped the ball.
Yes, so that's a knock-on. Well, that was lucky for Leeds, because really Russell pushed his way over there, and really you've got to get this. And the quick tap won't be allowed to be taken again until all the Castleford players are back on side, and the crowd getting at the referee. But it's obvious that this is an edict from the Rugby League. It's not one that's been published, but it's certainly one of the problems. Gary Mercer looking to run round on the outside, gets away from Simon Middleton, it's down onto the floor. Oh, that's got to be a penalty there from Dean Sampson. Player was tackled, stood up to play the ball. In fact, the referee says that Mercer wasn't tackled. Well, that's a ridiculous decision.
Well, it's a very interesting decision. I was just about to say that perhaps Gary Mercer was going to do a voluntary tackle, but he was getting up and clearly playing the ball when he was hit by Dean Sampson, and the referee said he was into touch.
Yeah, strange decision, but that's what Leeds have got to live with at the moment. And they've again conceded, put the ball down early in the piece, as it were, and they've already conceded 1 try and almost a second to Castleford. Then they're going to lose the ball early in the tackle count. Andrew Schick, a man who played here for the Castleford Alliance team and was substituted. Tutor. And he will certainly not give up tonight, and Blackmore knocks him down. Mike Ford stepping, weaving, gets Richard Russell away. Oh, and then Sampson reaches back for the football. Good play by Sampson, and Sampson eventually knocked down. But Castleford are now in the Leeds 20 metre area, 10 metres from that line as they move the ball. There's a big gap there if he can get through. Good defence from Leeds, but there was a huge gap there then, and the ball goes back to the open side. Ford looks to drop the goal. That's charged down, and Castleford have it, and they could have a try on the far side. Grant Anderson throws the ball back inside. There will be 6 more tackles though for Castleford. They needn't throw the ball around. 6 more again, so that's another waste of time for Leeds, giving the ball away, giving possession away in this quarter. A test of the defence now as Mike Ford comes running. Oh, he skips round Wayne Collins there, and he's just 3 metres short. Castleford go again from dummy half with
Adrian Val.
Adrian Val's at his outside, wide out there, bringing the ball back under the post. Forward finds Danny Orr. And eventually it's Tonks that's brought down. Castleford move the ball back towards their right, through the hands of Danny Orr again. And Sampson coming charging on. And Leeds can pick the ball up and maybe get away from... Well, Marcus Sindelaire ran right into the only player that was in 50 yards of him there to tackle him. Phil Hassan makes their break, and really Leeds have got to get their act together on attack at this stage of the game. We've seen it sloppy defending and very poor attacking at the moment from Leeds.
Yeah, they need to settle down.
Sindelaire goes from
made a lot of mistakes, Leeds.
Adrian Morley, not his game to be driving forward and a props game, and lost the ball in the tackle there, and luckily for him it went backwards.
Yeah, and there were forecast players there. Somehow Wayne Collins came up with the ball, which was important.
Mercer again looks to run, but a great defence there from Andrew Schick. Blackmore finds Faddle, who stood picking his nose, wasn't really expecting that then, and again
on the last tackle down. And it's a good job Harris has got a big boot on him, but Leeds really need to chase that,
and the chase is really poor from Leeds. Flowers picks the ball up on his own dead ball line, runs up to the 20 metres, over the 20 metres before anybody comes to tackle him, and that tackler is Andrew Faddle.
It was a fantastic kick from Yestin Harris, but the chase wasn't good enough.
Oh, we'll see Richard Russell now move the ball to his right. In fact, he takes the run himself, knocks off Gary Mercer, gets the ball back to Simon Middleton, and Middleton's away. Well, almost away. Good defence from Yestin Harris, who's having to do everything tonight because nobody else really wants to do anything at all. And now Castleford have got another penalty. So the punch has been thrown. I think, would that be from Wayne Collins?
Looked like it.
Right on halfway. So again, Leeds will be doing a spell of defending when really they ought to have been down here tackling Castleford on their own line. It's a really strange lack of atmosphere this evening, Phil.
That's right. It's very much after the Lord Mayor's show.
And that was what Dean Bell was very worried about, that Leeds would just feel they had to turn up. He's obviously spoke to the players, but when you've got a game within a few days, it's very difficult to get the previous game out of the system. Nathan Sykes drives up to the 20 metre line. Castleford looking to spin that ball through the arms of Danny Orr. Dean Sampson now. Ball gets the ball out of the tackle, and here come Castleford again. And Middleton's gone without the football. And Sterling, would you believe, has run into touch. Well, he's got to give the first knock on there.
Yes, I think he can't penalise Paul Sterling. No, that's right.
And
obviously, if Sterling had got away, he would have had the advantage, but having stepped into touch, then you go back to the first offence. Although, on what we saw of the tackle on Gary Mercer before, we wouldn't take anything for granted.
That's right. Mercer tackled when he looked to be getting up to play the ball. Sampson comes in and knocks him off guard. Mercer again goes from the back of the scrum. And Yestin Harris in at dummy half finds Phil Hassan. Hassan looking to sort things out, gets away from the first man and the second. He's got Marcus Sindelaire outside him. That's a good ball for Sindelaire. He has to step back inside. He hasn't got the beating of Jason Flowers. And Sindelaire takes the tackle. Nobody in at dummy half. Wayne Collins is a mile behind. He gets there now. And Yestin Harris finds Sheridan. Leeds now last looking to put it together. Morley gets the ball back to Sheridan. That's a forward pass. Referee's picked it up, and it was forward, Phil.
It looked forward from here. And again, Leeds perhaps putting in a pass there where it wasn't necessary. It was only the third tackle at
the most. And but at last they did show there what they can do when they're on attack. Some nice flowing rugby.
And what they don't need to do though is panic, because we've only had 15 minutes of this game. Leeds haven't looked impressive. That was a good chance, but wasted
Opportunity indeed. And Mike Ford, the Castleford scrum half, feeds the ball. Oh, and a poor tackle from Harris comes in on Brendan Tooter, and Castleford with Voles. Lacks a yard of pace to tell me Adrian Voles. He certainly don't lack any pace as he comes up from the 30 metre mark from his own line into the Leeds half of the field. Tonks will drive that ball forward. Knocked down by Morley. Russell finds Sampson again. And Sampson he's really strong.
Looking to get the ball out the tackle.
Looking to move that ball out the tackle. Castleford now with Mike Ford, stepping, dodging, weaving. And again it's back to Tonks, and Tonks finds Tooter, and Tooter goes forward. Steps out of the tackle, gives a pass out, and that's going to be a penalty for something that's gone on in the tackle there. And not being square at the play of the ball.
Well, that's strange, because the ball was still in play, but the penalty's gone to Leeds. So presumably Castleford, he's saying that they had too many Castleford men at the play of the ball there.
That's right. Well, you can only have two.
Unusual penalty.
Yes, and referees have tightened up on that area this season. Sides looking to claim an unfair advantage. So Leeds then, just with a sniff in the Castleford half of the field, bring Jamie Matthew charging forward. And he takes play up to the 30-metre mark. And this is the furthest that Leeds have been in possession. And Ryan Sheridan will look to bring Martin Marcella on the charge.
Let's hope Leeds can do a full set of 6.
Yes, the poor options at the moment. Leeds have not really had a set of 6. Yestin Harris, drop-off ball inside for Gary Mercer. Mercer finds Sheridan, and Sheridan looks to dodge and weave his way through. It's still the first wave of defence. No one in support there for Sheridan as he looked to offload the ball. Mercer will run himself from dummy half. Will take play into the 20-metre mark. That's 4 tackles gone. And Wayne Collins now moves the ball to his right with Yestin Harris. Yestin Harris looking to step, going himself. Is he still go? Oh, well,
there's his first try for Leeds.
First try for Leeds. Class try there from Yestin Harris. It's all over a matter of fact, but Yestin Harris kidded half the Castleford side there with a beautiful dummy. Looked to switch the ball, looked to move, looked to pass inside and out, then just decided to go on one of those short arcing runs and over for the try.
Well, again, there was absolutely nothing on there for Yestin Harris, and it just went to prove that when you need class, there's the man that's going to come up with it. And certainly the ball really went to the wrong side after 4 good drives. Harris found himself isolated, shimmied his hips one way, dummied the other. The Castleford defence opened up. The guy's total class. We've said it before, that's going to be the first of many tries he scores for Leeds. See if he can convert his own handiwork. But that's pulled Leeds back into the game and given the crowd something to cheer about. So
Harris again then looks to add the extra points. That's a successful kick. And so
I think you can tell from the cheers that he really is going to be a hero here. It leads 6-all after a pretty uninspiring first 18-19 minutes. But one thing that lit up the gloom, Yestin Harris.
Yes, Yestin Harris is moving on up.
Conversion from number 13, Yestin Harris.
So Yestin will
behind the right, 6-all, come on.
Yestin Harris will get the game restarted. And the long kick downfield, and really Leeds now need to chase this kick. It's a good kick. Mike Ford will find Tonks. And Tonks runs up to his 10-metre line, but he's brought down, so that's a good kick and chase from Leeds.
And Leeds now need to pen Castleford in their own quarter for 6 tackles.
And wait for the mistake.
Jason Flowers nearly got away. There's good tackle from Wayne Collins.
It was because Gary Mercer had missed him. And
I think with due respect to Gary Mercer, who's put in a prodigious effort over the last 3 or 4 games, he's looking a bit tired out there. Again, trying to make up for a missed tackle by putting in a big hit there on Schick.
So Castleford moving that ball now with Dean Sampson. Sampson, great tackle from Wayne Collins, and Castleford only just up to halfway on the 6th tackle, so that's good play from Leeds. And the forward kick will come downfield. Damien Gibson can let it bounce 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times before he picks it up. Oh, and would you believe he let it bounce 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times too many, because he spilled the ball there under no pressure whatsoever. Should have took it on the first bounce, Phil.
Yeah, they always say don't let a rugby ball bounce. Perhaps what he should have done once he'd let it go was trap it with his foot first. But again, no frills football from Castleford. A long kick from Mike Ford. Damien Gibson had a lot of time. Indecision, knocked on his own 10, and Leeds under pressure.
Yes, Saints 2, Salford 0 is a scoreline coming in from Knowsley Road. And Leeds get the ball. St Helens Castleford get the ball out of the scrums. And almost a try there. Difficult to see. The numbers are the worst I've seen. Grant Anderson, Castleford all playing held up over the line. The numbers very difficult. White shirts and yellow numbers don't make for good. And Ford, and that's a try, the simplest try you'll see in your life there. Absolute disgraceful defence from Leeds. No idea what was going on. Mike Ford had 3 or 4 dummy runners, which is something Leeds never have, and they all went one way, and the ball eventually for Andrew Schick. He didn't even realise he was so close to the line, he just fell over the line.
Again though, great play from Mike Ford, and he really has been the dominant player out here tonight so far. If Leeds allow him latitude and let him run, then he will cause problems. It was his long kick that Damien Gibson fumbled, and then on the 3rd or 4th play, Ford brought it back on the blind side, ran across the face of the Leeds defence. Nobody picked him up, dropped the ball inside, and as you say, Schick caught it and fell over in one movement, and Castleford back in the lead, and that is very poor defending from Leeds. They look very, very tired.
Can't blame the finger at anyone in particular, just a poor defence option round about the marker area, and the old Leeds failings of not being able to tackle close to the line coming back tonight. We've seen Richard Russell denied because he dropped the ball, but the fact was he was there to put the ball down, and that must be really worrying Dean Bell at the moment.
Yeah, I would think so.
And Danny Orr, a big weight on his shoulders to convert this. He's at the post, so lucky for Leeds. 2 tries then to Castleford, to Anderson. Schick, one Tonks conversion, and one Leeds strider, Harris, converted by Harris. So the score here on 23 minutes is Leeds 6, Castleford 10.
And again, not particularly inspiring for the big crowd here. They've come to, the vast majority of them, pay homage to the display on Friday night, and they've seen nothing like it so far.
No, either on attack or defence. And Adrian Morley just running forward. And sometimes it'd be nice to think that in this game that Leeds had an Andy Speake character who regularly takes the game by the scruff of the neck when the academy selves find themselves down here. But Leeds haven't got anybody with that sort of wilter in the first team. They've got plenty of players with plenty of skill and plenty of drive, but Andy Speake certainly takes the game by the scruff of the neck when Leeds are in this position in the academy side. So Anthony Farrell just driving towards the halfway line. Matthew now. And the Leeds big men are being completely controlled in the middle of the field at the moment. They're having much more difficulty. And Danny Orr looks to chase Yestin Harris's kick down. The kick comes in, spins. It's a good kick, and it's a better chase from Leeds this time, but I think it's going to go out and beat everyone.
Yeah, one last spin on its end took it out, but now Leeds need to defend and keep Castleford in their own half of the field. No gaps, no missed tackles.
And try and force the error. Leeds have had a couple of unenforced errors. The one particularly from Damien Gibson, which ultimately cost the try, will be the one that is most talked about. Sampson again knocks the ball up towards the 20 metre mark, towards 10 metres inside his own half mark. Andrew Schick running out wide and tackled there by Jamie Matthews. But Castleford are now up to the halfway line. They've had 3 tackles. That's not good defending from Leeds. Tooted again, brought down though. Good tackle there from from Wayne Collins. Moving the ball out to the right towards the north hand side. Mike Ford dropping off inside for Tonks, and Tonks is through a tackle there. Poor defensive effort there from Marcella, and Tonks still going, running about, and Castleford now in that 20 metres on the last tackle. And really this is a lackadaisical display by Leeds, and I bet Dean Bell can't wait to get Leeds in the dressing room. Mike Ford drops a goal right from the 20 metres. Castleford go further ahead.
And again, sensible option from Mike Ford. We know games are close, and again it was the last tackle, there was nothing on. Mike Ford, sensible player, and he really is holding the whole show together at the moment. 26
minutes gone then. Castleford 11 points to 6, and Leeds have got no one like Mike Ford tonight. A player who spent most of his last few years playing second division rugby. He's been out for the last 3 months with an injury, and comes back here not fully fit and tearing Leeds apart. And I bet Dean Bell just can't wait to get the team in at half time, because this is a very poor performance and not the way to get the crowds coming to Headingley.
Definitely not.
And again Sheridan holds his arms up. The ball's not going anywhere near him. Perhaps he stood in the wrong place, as Adrian Morley just drives the ball up to the 20 metres. That's better play from Leeds. Sterling looking to try and find a way through, but there's been no spark from Leeds on attack and some poor tackling on defence. And Leeds get a penalty. Something that's gone on there with Brendan Tooter in the tackle.
Again, Leeds can't complain about the penalty count. I've got it at 5-2 in their favour, but they certainly haven't used it.
They haven't. Yestin Harris finds a touch 10 metres inside his own half of the field, and Wayne Collins will just look to bring Matthew charging on. Castleford are well alert to that. 3 men in at the tackle there, including Schick, Sampson and Anderson. Marcella goes forward into the baby-faced assassin. Lost the football, Martin Marcella, and that just about sums up Leeds' evening.
It does. Second tackle again. Leeds cannot complete a set of 6.
And a ball there from Ford's put Schick through a gap. Nobody really picking up Mike Ford whatsoever. Really, Mike Ford needs to be hit, and hit hard in possession of the football. And Sheridan's missed another tackle on Middleton, and so has Blackmore, and Middleton's still going, but he's brought down now 30 metres from the Leeds line. Goes back to Danny Orr. He'll start taking control as well, Danny Orr, when he realises he's nothing to beat. Absolute disgraceful tackling from Leeds. Have put Castleford on the position to score again. Matthew and Collins in the middle of the field. Absolute disgraceful tackling, allowed Tooter to slip through them. And Castleford here with Andrew Schick going close to the line. Well, there's no will to win in the Leeds side tonight, Phil.
Nothing at all on defence. Absolutely nothing.
Up to the last tackle now. Danny Orr finds Mike Ford. Mike Ford short ball. That's got to be forward. The crowd shout forward. The referee says it's okay. It'll be the turnover for Leeds. But again, nothing there for Leeds at all. Poor defence from Leeds. Not fired up at all for this one.
No, there's definitely something missing.
Philosan goes himself from dummy half, and that's where he's only going to see the football, because there's been nothing on attack from Leeds at all this evening. And it's crying out for the introduction of a Graham Allroyd. Philosan goes himself. Got a gap there, Philosan. But 3 Castleford men close him down by the time he gets to halfway. He gets a penalty for a flop and pulling at the ankle, says the referee, and it certainly was interference there at the play of the ball.
Again, Phil Hassan, the only player on the Leeds side that's looked capable of bringing this ball out with any purpose.
Harris.
Again, a mistake from Masella gave Castleford the position, and Leeds have made more mistakes in this game than the whole of the season put together so far.
Masella drives forward, he knocks off one man, then two men, and now he's into the 20-metre area for Castleford. That's good play. Farrell's on the short ball, and somebody must have moved off the mark there, because by the time Andrew Farrell got that ball, he had a Castleford play with him as well. Collins switching play, Adrian Morley back inside to Collins. Collins finds Harris. Harris's drop-off ball is for Phil Hassan. Hassan tackled, but Leeds running back with this fancy pass work that they're doing, running all back into the heavy traffic area again. Harris now himself. Is it going to be the Iestyn Harris show? Ryan Sheridan takes men on, drops off for Blackmore. Blackmore would love a try tonight. Doesn't get one there because Schick hangs onto his ankles. Sheridan again finds Harris. Harris puts the ball out for Matthew. Matthew just takes the tackle. Leeds 10 metres short, centre field. Harris got the ball in his hands, moving the ball to his left. Crossfield kick comes in there. Is it going to be a try? Try to Marcus Sunderlair. In fact, the ball's gone dead. I thought Marcus Sunderlair had scored the try there.
Well, again, Leeds had about a 5-man overlap, and for some reason Iestyn Harris elected to kick. I'm sure if that had gone to hand, they would have got Marcus Sunderlair in.
Yes, it looked like Sunderlair had scored. He certainly dived, but then it appears he didn't dive with the football. So Leeds still trailing 6 points to 11 here. We've been playing around about the half-hour mark now, and it's been a very poor, lackadaisical performance both on attack and in defence from Leeds. They looked clueless on attack and lazy on defence. And when Collins gets the ball back there, that's the first mistake Castleford have really made, was Dean Sampson who knocked it down. Paul Sterling comes running across the field, looks for the gap, he's through the gap. Sterling just tack there. Is he going to get the ball away? Can he go himself all the way? Oh, he's held short there with a man outside him with no one anywhere near him. Marcus Sunderlair tries to drive over, can't drive over from dummy half. Sterling should have put the ball out there, Phil.
Well, I think he did everything right, and it was only a last-ditch tackle that stopped him.
Iestyn Harris catches a high tackle for his pains as he tries to run in and gets the ball out of the tackle, and Leeds have it now with Adrian Morley. Oh, Morley's pass was absolutely disgraceful there, but Harris, Sunderlair, is he going to go in? A good pass would have seen a try there.
That's right.
The ball flew above Marcus Sunderlair's head. That's probably why Adrian Morley's not a standoff. Sheridan looking to go, dodges his way through, still going. Farrell's on his shoulder, but he can't get there. Harris again now takes the ball on, looks to go himself. Jamie Field has just come on, does a Jamie Field thing and knocks the ball forward.
On for Jamie Matthew.
So Field's on for Matthew, and that'll put probably Farrell up to prop. But Leeds, that was the best chance Leeds have had. 3-4 clear chances to score there, couldn't take any of them.
That's right.
And 6 points to 11 the trail. Could be indeed costly, because Castleford have come here to win. They realise that at the moment they've really nothing to beat. And Sampson again driving forward, and now Barry McDermott, who's sat on the bench, must be wishing he could get on that field.
Yes, that's who they
crying
need.
out for somebody like Barry McDermott to barge his way forward. Richard Russell finds Mike Ford again. Ford running, looking to go, and he drops off. He takes the ball up to the line and he passes. Well, if you're watching that, Ryan Sheridan, that's what scrum halves do. He passes the ball close to the line, but nobody really wants to tackle Mike Ford. They're just quite prepared to let him run and run and run until eventually the gap opens up, because everybody's covered in his option and not the other one.
And a beautiful kick to the corner as well on the last tackle.
Great play there from Mike Ford.
And he really is dominating.
Yes,
In fact, he's played far better in this 31 minutes than I've ever seen him play before. I'll give him due credit for that.
Yes, he's not a player that would you'd be wanting to sign, and I know Leeds were linked with him when he was in Australia, and then Alf Davis went to watch and came back and said, nah, he's not good enough. Well, he's certainly proving differently tonight, and as Phil says, it's the best I've certainly seen him play. Mercer brings the ball away from the scrum down the blind side, and I'm not convinced at all, Phil, of the necessity now that every time there is a scrum, the loose forward picks it up and comes down the blind side. It doesn't really make any more
I think when you've done it twice, then certainly Phil Lauder will have noted that one and won't be too bothered.
Good run there from Wayne Collins from dummy half. Jamie Field now driving ball forward.
It's good to see Jamie Field on.
Yes, the outstanding player on the academy tour last year.
Yep, hope he makes a big impression.
Long ball out for Phil Hassan. Phil Hassan's got men with him, and this time it's Gibson puts Sunderlair away. But Sunderlair well wrapped up and tackled.
And none of them drew a man, and that's why it made it easy for the Castleford defence.
And Sunderlair then decided he was tackled. There's a football, finds Harris again, and that's the sixth tackle. Leeds only up to halfway. Good kick comes downfield. Flowers is underneath it, and it's bounced awkwardly for Flowers, and he can pick it up now. And the tackle is
Again,
missed.
Masella can't go up there to make those tackles if he isn't going to make them.
That's right. Went right up and allowed Flowers to come back 20 metres as he missed the tackle. And Grant Anderson just running in, and really Leeds shouldn't be losing to sides that include people like Grant Anderson, who's been around Castleford scene for years without really setting anyone alight. Simon Middleton played rugby union throughout the winter, lost the ball in the tackle there. The referee says play on because he hasn't a clue what to do about anything else. The ball certainly came out and the tackle looked to his touch judge for guidance. So on any Richard Russell comes storming down the middle of the field. Again knocks off one tackler up to halfway now. Leeds 6, Castleford 11 is the score. Here from Headingley this evening, you're listening to Radio Rhino on 1404 AM. Again, the ball got out of the tackle. It's Castleford's turn to look a bit shaky on attack now, but they have got Mike Ford.
And they will tire, but Leeds haven't really been able to put any pressure on them.
St Helens 2, Salford 6, the scoreline coming in from the Willows from Knowsley Road.
Perhaps they've had a hangover as well.
Well, Leeds certainly have had a hangover this evening.
Terrible hangover.
One of the worst displays I've seen from Leeds. It's back to the bad old days of the first Super League season at the moment. But
I think the only thing you can say in their favour at 11-6, the game's by no means a lost cause.
It certainly isn't, but it's a good job they're playing a side that's Castleford and not playing a side that's in the top half of the table. I mean, don't forget, again, Castleford haven't got a point in the bottom of the league at the moment.
With due respect to Castleford, who've played extremely well tonight. And again, a stupid mistake from Leeds. Wayne Collins forward pass to Jamie Field on, the third tackle?
The third tackle, and again, Leeds putting themselves under all sorts of trouble. And just really nothing's going right for Leeds tonight. The timing of the runs, the timing of the passes. And the ball comes out now to Mike Ford. Mike Ford just finds Jason Flowers. Flowers wrapped up by Damien Gibson. Castleford just moving the ball across the line. And Leeds not making the tackles and allowing Chris Smith to be running about there. He's in danger of disappearing into a hole in the ground, but he's still managing to get the ball away. And again, somebody else gets the ball away, and it's gone backwards now. Now, can Leeds fall on the loose ball? No, they can't. But the referee says that's a knock-on.
I think the referee's right there. But whether it was a Leeds hand or a Castleford hand, I don't know.
It'd be difficult to see. You'd think if you're going to be giving the scrum to Leeds.
I have a feeling he might give it to... Yeah, gives it to Leeds.
Oh, now Leeds have a chance now. We're coming up to half-time. There's about 4 minutes left. And really, this game just seems to have crept along, Phil, at this
Yeah,
this
we've been
stage.
used to 2 games of outstanding pace and power and commitment and passion, and to be fair, this one's had none of those, and other than from Castleford.
And again, Mercer picks up the ball, makes good ground, but it's really, there's no option there at the scrum when Leeds are doing that. There's no possible support play for Mercer. He just runs forward and eventually gets tackled. It makes good ground, but Leeds are not using the scrums as any options whatsoever. Masella. And it's been in the forwards where Leeds have been let down both on attack and defence, have made no platform whatsoever. They've picked up another penalty there, their 7th. 7-2 the penalties, and it's a good job for Leeds that it is, Phil Orrick. The scoreline could have been even more in Castleford's favour.
Well, to be honest, I think that's what's keeping Leeds in it at the moment.
Yestin Harris will attempt to kick at goal. It's 40 metres. He's certainly not frightened of kicking the ball a long way, isn't Yestin?
No, and I think as well he's realised that his side aren't playing well, and points on the board when you're not playing well, settle it down.
So Harris, 40 metres from the line. It's 20 metres in from touch, so it's not far away from the post. And this just also eats up the clock.
The other thing as well is that I think it's indicative that the Cas fans are clapping their players coming back to the mark, even though they've conceded a penalty, which is an indication of how well they've played tonight.
Yes, they've played very well tonight. Castleford belaying their lowly league position. And Yestin Harris just looking to settle the ball down. Long, straight penalty. Castleford physio being told to get off the field. Seem to be interfering with play. And Grant Anderson was certainly receiving some form of attention, but anyway, the referee, he's in charge, he sent them off. And Yestin Harris just lines up the kick now. 40 metres from the line, straights it hard, strong. Well, that's miles away, it's not going to even reach the post, and it's well to the right. You could tell as soon as he'd kicked that he'd miskicked it, and now Leeds need to tackle. Simon Middleton, it is who... I
suppose the disappointing thing there is that he didn't even kick it dead.
No, and it went nowhere near. You could see as soon as he struck the ball that it wasn't going anywhere near where it should have gone. That's the first penalty we've seen Yestin Harris miss in his Leeds career, proving that even he's fallible at times, Phil.
Yes, I don't think anybody other than Phil Hassan has made a memorable contribution so far.
Tackling in the middle of the field is Jamie Field on Samson. Tutor.
Again, I don't know what the crowd is.
Tutor steps out of one tackle, gets the ball away to Richard Russell, but Castleford are up to the last tackle and they're on the halfway line, and you can bet that Mike Ford is going to pump that ball downfield as long as he can, and Gibson has already let one ball bounce too many times. This time he decides to let it go dead, and Leeds have 2 or 3 minutes in which to get on the scoreboard before half time to bring this scoreline back to something that the Leeds fans will want to. It's a very, very poor first half from Leeds, and one which I'm sure that Dean Bell can't wait to get back in the dressing room and talk to them about. Just no spark on attack.
No, it'd be interesting to see the crowd reaction at half time, because there are a lot of people here, but there really isn't a lot of noise, and let's to be hope they don't start booing the team off at half time. Blackmore's away.
Blackmore's away. Sterling come to creep up there, but he couldn't get away. Ryan Sheridan looks to go, goes himself. Great play from Sheridan. He's got Jamie Field with him. Field won't have the legs. Couldn't get the ball away to Harris in support. If Leeds move the ball to the left, there should be something here. Harris comes back to the right, steps himself, goes himself. Harris takes play on, can't get the ball away. Gets up, he's under the post. It's the last tackle. Wayne Collins finds Sheridan. Sheridan looks to find Blackmore. Blackmore's flipped back inside, and Castleford knocked that ball forward. Oh, the referee says play on. The Castleford player knocked that ball forward, Phil, surely.
Yeah, I think the touch should just seen it.
Well, how bad refereeing is that? I mean, I've had a bit of a pilloring for calling referees this week. Stuart Cummins was 5 yards away. A Castleford player clearly knocked the ball forward. Not just forward, it was almost a case of offside when the other Castleford man picked it up. He must have knocked it 10 yards forward, and Stuart Cummins was quite prepared to let play go on. Well, I think we need the big screen, and I think that the referees, particularly referees in that situation, should have somebody with a big buzzer on their head, and when they make a mistake like that, they should be blasted between the ear holes and the screen should be shown to them where they've made the mistake, because it's all right waiting for the referee to call for the screen, but he wouldn't have called for a screen in that position.
Not the old Dunce's cap.
No, not the old Dunce's cap. Leeds get the scrum then, and Yestin Harris looks to put a ball away out to Damien Gibson. Gibson steps outside of the first tackle, and Leeds really need to
Castleford are looking tired. Leeds need to capitalise.
They certainly do, and they've only got a couple of minutes left to do at the most. This could be the last set of 6 as Adrian Morley runs back into the heavy traffic area. Can't get the ball away. We're waiting for the hooter to go any second now. Wayne Collins then finds Yestin Harris on the first receiver. Harris's kick is across field. Sterling gets the football, but so do Castleford, and the touch judge was pointing for something there to say, I think, that he was offside. And again, I didn't think it was the best use of the ball on the last tackle.
Well, it was the third tackle.
Yes,
that's the strangest thing.
And Leeds really looking to do all the fancy stuff without doing the basics right. And there goes a hooter, so Leeds could have played out that set of 6 without any problem. Poor performance from Leeds, that's all we can say at half time. Castleford opened the scoring with Anderson went over after a good break from Simon Middleton. Tonks converted, it was 6-0, and Leeds it back when Harris had a solo try. Good play from him, converted himself 6-all. Schick had a try after good play from Mike Ford, who's been the dominant figure on the side. Too far out for Danny Orr's goal kick, and then Mike Ford dropped a goal again. But Leeds, strangely funny performance from Leeds, not one that we're used to seeing from this season. Half time then, Leeds 6, Castleford Tigers 11. Some half time stats as Phil tries to get the team changes as Leeds come out. Matthew has topped the tackle count with 15, Farrell with 14, Collins with 14 and Sheridan with 14. And the drives, Marcella 11, Mercer 10, Morley 19. And the metres gained have been by Mari Marcella with 94, Gary Mercer 57 and Adrian Morley 52. Leeds set of 6-21. The penalty 7-2 in favour of Castleford. Leeds 11 minutes 38 seconds, Castleford 12 minutes 34 seconds. So who is Graham Holroyd on for?
Well, the one big half-time change is Graham Holroyd's on for Ryan Sheridan. Looking at Castleford, I don't think they've made a change, but that is hopefully the spark that we saw in Paris will maybe turn it round. Yes, and let's hope so for Leeds' sake. Holroyd immediately on the ball under the kick-off finds Adrian Morley, and I'm sure that Dean Bell's words will be ringing in Leeds' ears in this first half. It's a pity we haven't got the touchline operator in this second half, because I'd love to find out from Paul Fletcher what was said at half-time. So Gary Mercer just driving forward and takes play into the midway between the 20 metres and the halfway line. Farrell running out wide, bursts the tackle, can't burst the second. 4 Castleford men come in, but he's Suckman in there. If Leeds can whip that ball out, there must be space on that far side. Harris finds Marcella. Marcella just drives forward, takes play up to halfway, looking as though he's fired up in this second half. Martin Marcella. Collins again goes from dummy half, steps just one step to the right, finds Harris. Harris
gets the ball to Holroyd looking to offload there, but decides to go himself, takes the tackle up to the last tackle now. Harris will have the football in his hands, and he puts boot to ball, that comes across field. Leeds are chasing Phil Sands underneath. Well picked up though by Castleford. In fact, Leeds have let with Marcus and Hilaire let Chris Smith go and then got him at the second attempt, and that's a dangerous thing to do because Chris Smith can move.
Yep, you can't let Chris Smith go, and Leeds have got to remain disciplined, like we said at half-time, not panic and try to score with every play. That was a set of 6, but it wasn't a very good execution at the end of it.
6-11 then Leeds trail here at Headingley this evening, and the Rhinos will look to certainly start this second half better than the start of the first. Good defence at the moment. That's great defence on the big man Sampson out on the far side underneath the south stand.
And that's a better tackle as well on Brendan Tutor.
And Leeds now looking to close Castleford down inside ball for Tonks.
Again, he's played well considering it's his first game of the season.
Yes, he's played well tonight, Tonks, and a lot of effort from Castleford because they've been looking to. Sterling gets the ball
and
knocked
again,
out of his hands.
Well done the referee. The Castleford players were all offside, and Cass making a change, bringing on Richard Gay. Looks as though it's Adrian Vowles coming off, who's taken a knock.
Well, there won't lose anything with Richard Gay, a player who I thought would have made the Castleford fullbacks pat his own when he came from Hull. And the bugler comes out, and really Leeds need all the bugling they can get. Jamie Field drives forward, and we see Wayne Collins in at dummy half, finds Holroyd. Holroyd will spin that ball out to Harris. Harris running across the side of the field, looks to go himself. Harris, he's got the legs to go. Harris, oh, good tackle coming in there, gets the ball away. Marcus Hilaire, he's got Phil Sam with him, doesn't need him, couldn't use him because of the cover. Gets up again, knocked down in the 20 metres. Better play for Leeds. Up the south stand side, the north stand side, they came Holroyd with the ball in his hands now. Harris is back in position now to get that football. Finds Marcella just drives forward. Can't get the ball away, but this is better from Leeds now, looking to throw the ball about with some conviction. Blackmore spots a gap on the short side, opens the line up for Sterling. Sterling's in for the try, in the corner. Lovely play there from Richie Blackmore. He opened the gap like with a tin opener there, Phil.
And that's the best we've seen of Leeds tonight. All came from Iestyn Harris again, an arcing run, took the defence on, looked like they'd covered him, got the ball out to Marcus St Hilaire over 50 metres, quick play the ball, crossed the pitch, the benefit of having Graham Holroyd in there. Richie Blackmore taking it on the blind side, found Paul Sterling over in the corner a la Jim Fallon, and that was a great try for Leeds, just what they need after 3 minutes after the resumption.
And great spotting of the play there by Richie Blackmore. He noticed there was a gap on that short side, went the short side, drew the man, put Sterling in lovely in at the corner.
And it still needed scoring, and it was well done by Paul Sterling.
And the try scorer for the Rhinos.
So we're watching Paul Sterling just coming back to the applause of the crowd, and we've got again the Castleford physio in between Iestyn Harris and the goal kick. And Harris is right on the touchline side. In fact, if he was any further on the touchline side, he'd be down the south stand tunnel. And just biding his time, Iestyn Harris, the Castleford physio, attending to the player. And Stuart Cummins is not very happy with it, I can assure you.
And I think Stuart Cummins should be telling them if he needs treatment, even if he's definitely coming off, it should be behind the ball. I know he stopped the clock, but it must just put off Iestyn Harris. Though you have to say the one bit of class needed at the start of the second half, and Harris came up with it.
So a bit difficult to see who's going off for Castleford over there. It looks
could be Grant. Could be Brendan Tutor. No, it could be Grant Anderson.
Well, we'll see as the play comes on. The Castleford numbers appalling. Yellow on a white background under floodlights just doesn't look good at all. Iestyn Harris then, right from the touchline side, get over, kicks it, scamps it over, just misses there, and it's 10 points to 11 then. Leeds 2 tries, just the 1 conversion.
Hi, this is Paul Sterling. You're listening to Radio Rhino on 1404 AM, the main station.
It is indeed the main station. It's the main station for all Leeds Rhinos Rugby League fans, because you will pick up all the information from Radio Rhino. And Jason Flowers comes and gets the ball. Oh, great defence coming in there from Morley and Farrell, and Flowers will know that he's felt that one.
And again, the whole atmosphere is in upper gear.
Mike Ford looking to bring Grant Anderson on the foot. In fact, it's Tutor. Simon Middleton looks to go, but a good defence coming in there from Gary Mercer. Sampson now coming down the field, gets the ball away to Schick. Well, surely Andrew Schick isn't going to run the length of the field. He certainly isn't. Good defence coming in there from Graham Allroyd. But Castleford opened Leeds up again then, and that's dangerous. Castleford have put the ball down now. Richard Russell it was, I think. In fact, it wasn't Richard Russell.
I think it's Danny Orr.
Danny Orr, yes. Looking very similar in facial expression and haircut. And Danny Orr put the ball down. So Leeds, I wouldn't say a let-off there because Castleford only just in Leeds half of the field. But Schick showed what can be done when you have a good player like Mike Ford in the side. Allroyd switches play now, finds Blackmore on that short side. Blackmore looking to try and drive his way forward. Leeds 5 scrums, and the scrums tied at 5-all now. 8-2 the penalties. Sterling looking for the way through, no way through for the try scorer this time. Leeds almost up to halfway, centre field, leading, trailing here by 10 points to 11. And Gary Mercer looks to move things forward, and that's good play. And eventually 4 Castleford men bring him down now. Can he get the ball played quickly, because there's 4 men here doing absolutely nothing. If that ball can go out, there must be a gap. Jamie Field driving forward into the Castleford half of the field. Again, Wayne Collins obstructed as he tried to get to dummy half. That's good play from young Sykes. Harris spots the gap, goes himself, can't get the ball away, up to the last tackle now. So Holroyd will have to take charge on the last tackle. He's got the football in his hands now. Pikes up a high, up and under, everyone's onside. Sykes is underneath it, so is Philosan. And Sykes is tackled, but not correctly by Hassan, said the referee, and the play was allowed to go on. And but fortunately for Leeds, Holroyd and Sykes, Holroyd and Hassan covered over, and Sykes made Flowers made no progress whatsoever. So Castleford just bringing the ball away from their own quarter now with Nathan Sykes. And Nathan Sykes is a forward pass looked to be coming there to Brendan Tutor. And Leeds have given away a penalty for holding down. It's Wayne Collins and Jamie Field who were involved in the tackle. And really, Leeds don't need to be giving penalties away.
No, I don't think Leeds can complain, though. They've had the run of the penalty count. That's a quick tap taken by Mike Ford.
Oh, the man running forward there again. We can't see who it is. It's really poor numbering on the Castleford shirts, Phil.
It is. It looks like Danny Orr.
It was Danny Orr.
That was only from his stature.
Sampson just takes play at Castleford 30 metres from the Leeds line, over on the south stand side, just bringing the ball back now with Tonks. Tonks is knocked down, but Castleford have made 6-7 metres in that play, and Leeds will need to defend now, and they're caught out napping late over on that far side. Oh, that's got to be a try to Castleford over on that far side. Absolute sloppy defence again from Leeds. Absolute sloppy defence. The man was tackled a metre short and was still allowed to get up and play the ball. And is it Danny Orr who scored the try, or is it Richard Russell? However it is, it's Leeds again, trailing the game. A really poor performance there from Leeds.
And again, slipped out the tackle, not grounded, and carried on, scored the try.
That's all we can say. Danny Orr with a difficult kick from the touchline side. And if he gets this, he deserves it. Well, he doesn't get it. And the referees, the touch judges were waving it away with as soon as it left his boot. But again, that leaves Castleford 5 points to the good, and Leeds good work in getting the try to Sterling comes to naught.
That's right, and as you were saying earlier, not the way to really get the crowd on your side.
No, Leeds have really got to get a grip.
At least the crowd are responding.
The Leeds have really got a grip. There's so many sides that are good in Super League, and Dean said at the start, derby games against people like Castleford, they're always difficult to predict. The fact that Castleford haven't won a game, Leeds have just beaten St Helens, they mean absolutely nothing tonight unless Leeds can get their act in gear and get on with the game. It really needs somebody to take this game by the scruff of the neck, because to be fair, Castleford are there for the beating.
They are, and they may well tire, but let's just hope that Leeds are still in the game when they do. They need to play disciplined football, Leeds.
Adrian Morley runs up the field, gets a head-high tackle from Brendan Tutu, which has finally been spotted by the referee. And Leeds again get a penalty there, 9th of the game. Mercer finds Harris, and Harris will need to make sure he finds touches. Over into the south stand it goes to 15 metres inside the Leeds half of the field. Collins then finds a willing runner. That willing runner is Martin Marcella, but there's been precious few tackles broken by Leeds players this evening, Phil.
That's right.
Holroyd, it needs to be opened up by skill. Holroyd switches inside for Jamie Field. Jamie Field eventually thrown to the ground on the halfway line. Collins again finds Holroyd. Holroyd will look for Harris. Harris taking play on, taking men on his own, drops off ball inside for Anthony Farrell. And Farrell, but 3 men on Farrell, and Castleford suddenly realise that they can win this game, and they'll be fired up for enthusiasm.
I think they know that if they can hold Leeds out for the next 10 minutes, they certainly can win this game. If Leeds get back and score quickly, then it's going to make it difficult.
Good running from Adrian Morley. Harris now Finds Allroyd out wide, looks to go himself through the gap, gets the ball back. That's better play from Leeds, but Masella's tackled as soon as he got the ball and went up to the last tackle. So Harris again looks to run the football on the last tackle, gets a very high tackle there, looks to get the ball away, can't get the ball away, puts the kick in. Nobody's going to chase that because nobody expected Harris, but that shows you the measure of the man. He still managed to get something away on the last tackle.
Absolutely brilliant out of that.
That's the last tackle.
But again, a poor option on the last tackle.
That's the 0 tackle, so Castleford have had one there on their own 20 metre line as Phil Hassan tackles Richard Gay. Chris Smith, and that's not the what you want to be doing when you're a winger running inside and getting tackled by Jamie Field in that manner. Tuta now knocks back, but he gets the ball out of the tackle, and Leeds have not killed the ball at all this evening in the tackle. That was one of the things they did against St Helens. They made sure that St Helens never looked like offloading the ball, or very rarely. Middleton puts the ball down, took his eye off it there. So Leeds now at last a chance to put something together. The 40 metres from that Castleford line.
10,303. I'd like to thank tonight's match sponsors, the big match.
10,303 here this evening, and that's a good crowd on a Tuesday night against the bottom of the league, Phil.
Yeah, again, it's a great crowd. It's a testament to what's being built here, but those foundations will look shaky if Leeds lose tonight.
Harris looking to... And Leeds really have no idea what they're doing on attack there whatsoever.
No, don't know who's supposed to be calling the moves there, but there was nothing going on.
Well, yes, Harris, welcome to Leeds.
Yeah, took a high shot there.
Yes, he did indeed, and
I think that's rearranged his nose a little bit.
Wayne Collins spots the gap, goes from dummy half, come away from touchline side. Wayne Collins as he takes play into the 20 metres, so Leeds at last a chance to put some pressure on. Masella is the dummy runner, in fact he stands still, and Allroyd now finds Harris. Harris will look to feed Allroyd now. Allroyd's long ball finds Morley. Leeds have got things happening here, but Morley comes back inside into the heavy traffic area, and really, Phil, they really need to be moving the ball about. They're trying to play all the game down the middle of the field.
Yep, poor option again.
Faddle again steps into trouble where there looked an obvious, more easily route down the middle of the field. Leeds have used 6 tackles, they've made about 15 metres, and Allroyd has the ball in his hands, puts a crossfield kick high. That's for Phil Hassan. Marcus Sunderlair to chase, knocked back by Leeds, and Castleford have it back. And Mike Ford now, can he be pushed into touch? Right in front of us here in the north stand side, Richard Gay brings the ball away from the touchline side, bringing it down. He's 30 metres from his own line as he's tackled there by Gary Mercer. Flowers, we've seen Flowers win games for Castleford against Leeds, most notably last season in the second game of the season.
That's right, a killer.
Middleton, well brought down, that's good defence from Leeds. It was Graham Holroyd that did the tackling. Castleford again using that short side with Nathan Sykes, who's burst through one tackle. The pass looked a mile forward, the crowd would go screaming for a berserk, but difficult, such big gaps now. Ford drills a football downfield. Gibson, what will he do this time? He'll allow that to run.
Again, a very clever kick from Mike Ford, right to the corner. It's just basic rugby, and it's working.
It certainly is, and for all the superstars at Leeds and the big money spent on players, Mike Ford has been the outstanding individual on the field this evening.
He has.
It's a long time since we could say that, perhaps in his early days at Oldham. And Castleford warming up some substitutes. We'll see. Leeds again running from the scrum with Gary Mercer making no ground whatsoever, and certainly in my mind an overworked ploy. Blackmore now comes to bust off one man, then another, gets the ball back to that man in support, Yestin Harris. Harris's ball is for Masella wrapped up those, so Leeds have used 2 tackles up and they've made 5 metres.
I have to say Masella just is not breaking tackles at the moment. His efforts must be taking their toll on the last few weeks.
Yes, he's probably not fit, he was struggling. One man who is having a tremendous season for Leeds is the man in possession of the football now, coming up the middle of the field. Anthony Faddle just bumped off out of 3 tackles there. Holroyd finds Harris, there's a gap there if Harris can go through it. Drops off inside for Richie Blackmore. Blackmore's through the gap again, through the second gap. Has he got anyone in support? Blackmore has to take the tackle. The support couldn't get where he wanted them. He did the right thing to take the tackle. Leeds get a penalty, and I think somebody could be going to the bin here. There's certainly something going on that's...
I think this could be the last warning for Castleford.
And somebody's been called over. It might be Mike Ford.
I think he's the captain, so he's probably being told that the next time his team interfere at the play of the ball, that player will be sin-binned.
Saints 14, Salford 12 is a scoreline coming in from Knowsley Road, so that's a very close game. Neither side wanting to give there, and if Salford do win that'll be tremendous, give their credentials a big boost.
Yeah,
for Leeds.
I think they've already achieved more in that game than most people thought that they would, and that's again Castleford standing offside at the penalty, but big charge.
Marcella Morley now running onto the football from Wayne Collins. Leeds 6 metres short now, centre field, just under the St Helens post, moving the ball towards the south stand side, changing direction. That's for Marcella to charge for the line. He's picked up bodily and hurled backwards there. That's good defence from Cass, keeping him out. Collins again, which way is he going to go? Morley's a dummy runner. Harris has got the ball in his hands, finds Allroyd out wide. Allroyd looking to go himself. Pushed off there, nobody in support for Graham Allroyd. Eventually gets the ball back. And what on earth are Leeds doing here? They've lost 15-20 metres in that tackle there. No one in support of Graham Allroyd. And there's no 6 more tackles. It was a Leeds boot that put the ball back. Mercer runs himself from dummy half, tries to get through up to the last tackle. Leeds 10 metres from the line. Collins now finds Allroyd. Allroyd finds Harris. Harris coming across his field, puts a little cross-field kick in. And again, nobody up to tackle for Leeds, and Castleford can bring the ball away with Smith. Very poor option again on the last tackle. Yeah,
again, it's all down to Leeds' poor options. You've got to credit the Castleford scrambling defence, but Leeds are really not putting them under pressure.
Got a bit of a man warming up. It's Voles, he was off injured earlier on. And Simon Middleton just spins out of one tackle and he's brought down in the next. And it's Tutor now, a man who will never give in, Brendan Tutor. Knocked down. And both sides look absolutely tired on the feet at the moment. Richard Russell goes from dummy half, doesn't get any ground whatsoever, really makes a 5-6 metres.
Certainly Tutor won't give in when there's Australians on the opposition's team.
Schick looks to go through the gap, but he's brought down. Castleford have made 20 metres in that, 25 metres in that set of 6. And now it's for Mike Forde. He looks to run the football, and Leeds could have charged him down, closed him down. Instead they let him get the kick in. The kick comes up for Marcus Sunderlair, and Marcus Sunderlair will have to run that ball back towards his own quarter. Gets away from one and another. Stepping, still going. In fact, sometimes I wonder why players have to step the extra man when the gap's already opened. And that's a run up the middle of the field from Paul Sterling. Up to halfway, Sterling. That's good play. Allroyd goes in at dummy half. But Castleford back and the crowd behind Leeds now. Yestin Harris runs over the halfway line, through the gap. Harris stepping, going himself. Harris. Oh, great tackle coming in from behind. Was it from Danny Orr? Indeed, it was Danny Orr. And Holroyd now, he's looking to go on his own. Steps, goes himself, twists and turns in the tackle. Can't get the ball away. Still going though, as he got the legs all right. He's taking the play up to 10 metres. Leeds want the football in their hands quickly. Harris has got the ball now. Steps, goes himself. Flip back there for Mercer. Mercer's gap is for Jamie Field. Field stepping inside. He can't get the ball away. Well, Leeds 10 metres short underneath the post. Collins moves the ball to his left. Harris now. Short ball there was for 15. Philosan. Philosan is in for the try.
Great defence.
Great defence from Castleford. Kept Philosan out there when he looked to score it all over. And what have Leeds tried to do on the last tackle? Surely they haven't tried to butter their way over from dummy half. They have. And who would you bet the money to put that on? Gary Mercer. And so now Leeds have turned over with the Castleford defence spread far and wide. If Leeds had got the ball out to the side, they had a 5-man overlap, Phil.
Yeah, it's poor options. We keep saying it, but Leeds are not putting pressure on Castleford because of their poor options.
Well, Gary Mercer's certainly never going to score a try from dummy half. So Francis Cummins on as Leeds ringing the changes, but really they're not getting anywhere. The defence is good. Castleford had 6 tackles and have made 20 metres. But again, Mike Forde has got the ball in his hands and just drills it into touch. Cummins picks it up. First touch of the football for a few weeks for Francis Cummins. Has his ankle strapped up, steps inside, looks a good player, Francis Cummins, when he's running with the ball. Yeah. That's the 0 tackle lead, 10 metres inside the Castleford half of the field. Marcella has had a quiet game tonight, Martin Marcella. Not really fit, I feel. There's a punch gone in at the tackle there and the touch should just come on. Marcella certainly feeling it, depends who it is. There was Sampson involved, there was Tutor involved, so take your pick there, Phil.
No, it doesn't matter, perm anyone from 2.
The referee wasn't really aware of it, but the touch judge came on. Marcella gets to his feet, he's alright. And it's the baby-faced assassin.
Which he doesn't like you calling him to his face.
No, I'm supposed to call him the back row forward. But
I think he sent out a warning to clubs about 3 years ago that he'd rather they didn't use that term.
That's right. Well, Allroyd. Is he going to kick at goal, Graham Allroyd? Well, it's a sensible option from Leeds.
Certainly is at this stage.
We've been playing for 20 minutes of this second half. And Leeds with Holroyd looking to add the extras. It's a straight penalty. 30 metres out, just to the, well, probably level with the right hand upright, as Holroyd will be looking at his left-footed kicker. And so it's a good side for him, and it's Leeds, of course, playing towards the pavilion end of the ground. And this is Holroyd's first kick, as Harris has given up the kicking duties, kicking 1 from 3. Holroyd kicks straight, high, swinging, and he's converted it successfully.
Hi, this is Graham Holroyd. You're listening to Radio Rhino on 1404 AM.
So Holroyd then kicks that one. Leeds 12, Castleford 15. And just 60 minutes gone then. So 1 from 1, and really we need some bugle ball calling now. And Leeds really need to get up there and do some more of that tremendous defence that we just saw in the last few tackles. In the last set of 6 where Leeds kept Castleford to pen to that 20 metres. Castleford running the ball out now with Jason Flowers, and he's rocked back into the 20 metre area. So again, it's good defence from Leeds, and let's hope that that's just lifted Leeds, because they can play much better than they've played tonight.
They can, but now it's getting to the stage where they've just got to hang in there and try and grab a win. Keep the momentum going for Sunday.
Yes, it won't be easy at the Don Valley Stadium. Tight, small pitch. Lost the football, and Leeds pick it up with Gary Mercer, who allows himself to be tackled.
And Martin Masella really should have taken that ball. I don't know why he was backing off it.
That's Richie Blackmore. So Leeds 30 metres out centre field, trailing here by 12 points to 15. Lost the football, and it's gone fairly, says the referee. And Anthony Faddle that was. So again, Leeds losing the ball early in the tackle count. Richard Gay looks to step his way through. Harris brings him down with Collins. Nathan Sykes. Again, Leeds covering the option, so Sykes can't pass the football. Plays the ball, finds forwards for Andrew Schick out wide.
And Schick's caused problems out wide, and that's well done by
Richie Blackmore. Stole
the ball
in a one-on-one tackle, and Leeds have it now. Paul Sterling it was who got the ball. Marcella drives forward. Collins is quickly in at dummy half. Leeds into the Castleford half of the field. Yestin Harris now with the football. Looks to drop off inside for Adrian Morley. Morley's running the angles, running well. Morley can't get the ball away. He's fallen on the floor, and Leeds have not made any ground whatsoever. Jamie Field just puts the hammer down now. In fact, surprisingly enough, the most time on the Leeds team looks Jamie Field at the moment. So Gary Mercer. In fact, it's Marcella driving forward.
And that's the first tackle he's beaten.
That's right.
That may be a sign that Castleford are tiring.
Up to the 20 metres now. Wayne Collins goes himself from dummy half. That's better play from Leeds. And on the last tackle though now, they are 10 metres from the Castleford line, bringing the ball back through the arms of Graham Holroyd. Holroyd looking to run himself, puts a little grubber kick through. Has he got the legs to chase it? Holroyd, it just beats everyone and goes dead.
And again, a poor option though.
Poor option on the last tackle from Leeds there. Not the really required thing to do. There was men to stand out, and really Leeds would be better running it. Or as Mike Stevenson says, which I'm sure he invented, the power play. We've not seen that from Leeds at all on the last tackle.
Either that or put the ball into the in-goal area and make Castleford drop out.
That's right, it was too hard, that kick, and really Leeds have just got another set of 6 to tackle. The minutes tick away. Nathan Sykes is off and Paul Smith is on for Castleford, as they're looking to obviously bring some fresh legs on now. And good defence coming in there from Adrian Morley. On Danny Orr. Schick again running out wide. Well, he's certainly not done any driving down the middle of the field, Andrew Schick.
No, he's played all his rugby out wide. He's looked very good apart from once when he just lost the ball.
Mike Ford again. Oh, and that's a lovely play from Ford, and Castleford looking to forward pass there, a mile forward. The referee spotted it.
Well, I think the crowd gave that one. The referee was nowhere near that. Don't know whether he took advice from his touch judge, but it looked like that was in response to the crowd, I have to say.
Well, I think he actually took advice from Ronnie the Rhino, who was jumping up and down and waving his arms in a forward motion, right in line with where the pass was. So
Ronnie the ref.
Yes, Ronnie the ref. So we'll watch now as Graham Holroyd works the feed. That finds Harris. Harris is not going anywhere because nobody was with Harris there at all.
Again, Blackmore had overrun him.
And Sterling now out on the far side, gets the ball away. Has he got the legs? Sterling, he's past one man. He's going Sterling for the corner. Has he got the legs to go? Paul Sterling, he'll back himself. He's running to touch on the first tackle, but he had to back himself for the try, Phil.
Yeah, you always do that. The worst that was going to happen is what did happen, and that was forcing him out on the outside. And you have to say that the Castleford cover coming across was quite sensational. I presume it was Jason Flowers, was it?
Yes, and probably over on that far side, Simon Middleton. So
looks like Mike Ford as well.
Yep, good play there from Castleford. But Leeds have got Castleford down here now, and they really need to force the area down here. They need to keep Castleford pending this 20 metre. We've seen that they can do that in the set of 6 earlier in this half, and they've got to enforce the area, but they've really got to get it together on attack at the moment. Ford gets the ball out. Middleton comes running across. Good defence though from Leeds, from Yestin Harris. Castleford going from dummy half, Richard Gay, but again he's knocked down up to the 20 metres. Castleford looking to spin that ball. This is the new man, Paul Smith. Knocked down. Just play outside the 20 metres, so Castleford making ground, not a lot of ground, but they're making ground. And this is for Sampson. He'll make ground all night if Leeds let him. Oh, a forward pass there. That was offside. The player stood miles in front of the man when he passed it, Sampson. And again, this has given Leeds a good chance and a good attacking option. But can they do anything about it, Phil?
That could be a suicide play. That was Sampson to Orr, forward pass, really on their own 22 metre line. And Leeds have got to score from this 6.
They really need to, because time will be running out for Leeds, and the longer it takes to score, the longer that Castleford will hold on. They'll feel they can hold on. Yestin Harris looking to dodge and weave. He has to take the tackle. Leeds have had 8 scums now. Philosan goes powering towards the line, 10 metres from that Castleford line. Then Philosan in possession. Gary Mercer at dummy half finds Allroyd looking to go himself, drops off inside, ball out for Marcella. Marcella charges forward. Leeds 5 metres short now. Can they score? A try, of course, would give them the lead. Harris, long ball out to Holroyd drops a long ball out there to Blackmore, it's a ball in at the corner. That's a try over wide out there. It looks like
Damien Gibson.
Could be Damien Gibson on the far side, but it's a try to Leeds, and that's put them in the lead, and that's the first time they've been in the lead in this game.
Again, 2 great long balls from the half-backs. Harris, Holroyd. Blackmore was the one that stood up the defence, palmed the ball on, and it looked like Gibson just got in front of Paul Sterling, took the pass and powered over to the corner.
In fact, I think it was Francis Cummins who scored the try.
It could have been Cummins wrapping round.
So Leeds eventually get back in the lead, Phil, or as I say, in the lead, they actually take the lead.
Well, that's the first time Leeds have been in the lead. The nearest they'd been up till then was drawing at 6-all, and you just wonder, with maybe 12 minutes to go, whether Castleford will now tire.
Well, Holroyd comes in, puts the kick over, and Holroyd goes in off the post. It's the post and it goes in, so that's better than Bobby Goulding, who hit the post and came out.
Yeah, and sometimes when you look's in, it's in, and really there, the Castleford fans must be absolutely beside themselves, because that is a really painful conversion.
Hi, this is Francis Cummins. You're listening to Radio Rhino on 1404 AM.
Francis Cummins, a try scorer. You are listening indeed to 1404 AM. 18-15, but Leeds need to score next, Phil.
Yeah, certainly do. Need to score next to perhaps kill the game off.
And Castleford with Paul Smith coming running forward, but Leeds have now renewed vigour and fight, and that's what they've got to do. They can't afford any mistakes. They've got to pen men down. Richard Gage is trying to make his way forward.
I think the other thing as well is the 2 scorers there for Leeds, both substitutes, and that's been important.
Yes, as men tire, and it's good to see Francis Cummins back, and Graham Allroyd, who didn't have much part to play in the game against St Helens. Sampson, well tackled there by Leeds. Sampson
and Leeds' defence has got to be good.
Elbowed somebody in the face, Sampson. In fact, it's Graham Allroyd. Oh, and Castleford away. There's going to be a try here. Middleton. Oh, would you believe it? Would you believe it? And Leeds have allowed Castleford to run 50 metres to score a try, which puts them back in front of the game. Well, that's absolute disgraceful defence there from Leeds.
That's right.
Absolutely disgraceful play from Leeds.
Again, Leeds did all the hard work, but full credit to Castleford. It was Mike Ford again to the line, Richard Russell in support, position Middleton to the side of the post, and Leeds have got it all to do now.
And Leeds are going to lose this game, Phil. And they've only themselves to blame. They really have. That was a disgraceful try. Castleford haven't got a man that can run 50 metres, and they've just let an hooker and a winger do it for them, with nobody in support from Leeds to do the tackling right under the post. So Castleford go back in the lead again, and who can say they don't deserve it, Phil, the way they've been playing this evening?
They definitely do.
I mean, nobody's tackled Mike Ford in position.
No,
the football,
again,
nobody's tried to put him out of the game.
It was Mike Ford again that set that up, but credit to Richard Russell and to Simon Middleton.
And it's converted by Tonks. And Leeds 21 points to 18 down.
Well, there's still 8 minutes to go. The game isn't over yet, but Leeds are going to really have to dig deep if they're going to get anything out of this.
Well, it's as good after. And how many times is the PA announcer going to ask for the crowd to lift Leeds? Because really, they were lifted then, and they just went to sleep again. Nothing on when that ball was got there. Mike Ford's been allowed to run around as though he owns the place.
Yeah, Mike Ford has been absolutely sensational tonight, and again, with all due respect to Mike Ford, he's virtually wearing the squad number on his back that he is old, and he's proved that age doesn't matter.
That's right. And Leeds, really. I'm afraid the bugle caller will have to do better than that tonight, Phil. because Leeds are really throwing this game away. I can't believe this is the same Leeds team who've played so well in the last 2 games.
Again, there's always been a tendency that Leeds can lift themselves for the big games.
And Masella's just strolling through the game at the moment.
Yeah,
I mean, really,
I would certainly be thinking about bringing Nick Fozzard on for Masella.
Allroyd looks to go himself, nowhere through for Graham Allroyd. And Leeds up 10 metres inside their own half of the field as they're playing the football. They've had 3 tackles. Yestin Harris, what can he do? Gets a good ball out there to Masella, but Masella, really, that ball wasn't for him, and Masella's in the way. And Leeds now looking to run the power play. Damien Gibson looks to go himself. He's got men with him, has he? Can't get the ball away, and he's going to run out there, and it's going to be the last tackle turnover.
Again, poor option on the last tackle.
Well, the last option kicking tonight from Leeds, and the last option on the thing has been the worst I've seen for the full season from Leeds. And really, they need to get the ball back, and I don't know how they're going to do it, Phil, but we've only seen the 2 tries in the second half. Cummins scored a great try out there, but Leeds really should have been sowing this game up now.
Well, certainly when Cummins put them in front for the first time, that should have been it, and Tutors off down the middle now, and Leeds don't look like they can make a tackle.
Mike Ford again finds Sampson.
And that's been a really productive route for Castleford.
And nobody's hit Mike Ford at all in possession.
I don't think
of
he's taken the tackle all
He
night.
hasn't indeed, and nobody's even tackled him after he's passed. And Danny Orr just wrapped up in the middle of the field, up to the last tackle now. Castleford haven't made much ground, but that doesn't matter. They need to just keep hold of the football. Mike Ford again kicks it downfield. That's a great kick from Mike Ford. Class play there from Mike Ford. And he's something that Leeds haven't got at the moment, a class scrum half.
That's right.
So
goes to the Rhinos. Number 13, Yestin Harris.
Harris picks up his 2nd man of the match award, and really you can hear what the crowd think of that. Because he's been at the heart of most Leeds things, but there hasn't been many Leeds things to be at the heart
I
of.
was going to say it's been a difficult choice. And certainly Fozzard is on. I presume it's Masella who's going to be coming off.
It will be Masella. He looks out on his feet, Martin Masella. Fozzard comes on now.
Final substitution, number 17, Nick Fozzard, replacing number 8, Martin Masella.
And the blood bin substitution for one of the Baldies, it's Sampson. And Castleford will bring Nathan Sykes back on. And the referee says get on the field, but really, what time is there left on the clock, Phil?
I would think about another 6 minutes maybe.
6 minutes then for Leeds to pull something out of this game tonight. Otherwise, all the good work against St Helens comes to absolutely nothing.
Yep,
and
counts
that's
for
a
naught.
typical what Leeds have done in the last few seasons. Harris now has the football. And Blackmore, and Leeds are looking to bring Blackmore out wide, but we've seen very little of him on attack. He can't get the ball away there. Castleford are all over now. They realise they're going to win this game, Phil. They can win this game, and that's all they want to do.
Well, one moment of brilliance, and Phil Hassan doing well there will change the course of the game.
You got Blackmore out of the away. Phil Hassan again goes up the middle of the field into the Castleford half of the field. That's better. So Leeds need to build on this now and get the ball away. There's Castleford. There's gaps all over there. Oh, what a poor pass from Harris, put the man into trouble. Straight up with the tackler, the only tackler within 10 metres of that when it was Graham Allroyd who got a real cop for it there.
And he did well to hold on to
Anderson,
it.
He did indeed. Leeds moving that ball on the far side. Damien Gibson's in the line. Coming back.
I would just spread it wide. There are gaps there.
There are gaps. Allroyd now looking to run with the football. Allroyd's not got through again. He's tried that 4 or 5 times this evening. He's not got through once. Fozzard's at dummy half. That's not what you want. Harris puts a little kick in field. The ball's bouncing awkwardly, but it bounces straight for a Castleford man. And options and time running out for Leeds. That was the best option they'd had on the last tackle for a while.
Yeah, but again, the chasers weren't really there.
Flowers rocked down on his heels. Leeds only need a try to win this game, but at the moment they don't look like they can get anywhere near the Castleford line.
And if we were being honest, we'd say they wouldn't deserve it.
They wouldn't at this rate. They've not played very well at all this evening. They've allowed a 2-bit run of the mill side. And Richard Gay coming away again there. A side who can't string 3 passes together in Super League. Not got a point this year, Castleford. They've allowed an old man from Wakefield Trinity to dominate the game. And they've allowed Castleford to spread the ball and play at will. Every time they've looked like coming back, Leeds have allowed Castleford back into the game. And time is running out for Leeds now. I wonder how many phone calls will be on Radio Rhino this evening. And really, we can't afford to do this, Phil. This is not what... the fans will not come in great numbers, because they've 2 difficult away trips to go now, at Sheffield and at London. And then how many people will be here to see Paris, who don't bring anybody with them, on May the 30th, if
right.
Leeds can't win tonight?
It's amazing how these things can turn around sometimes. Leeds really now probably have got their last... I mean, they may get one more set of 6, but last set of 6 on their own. 20 was it 15-metre mark.
15-metre mark.
What can they do?
Mercer's option of picking the ball up from the scrum again, just getting tackled, a waste of another tackle there.
They need an organiser.
Well, Iestyn Harris is the best organiser they've got, but the ball's not getting anywhere near him.
Well, Iestyn Harris must be exhausted as well. It's his third big game since he signed.
Steps, but can't get the ball away.
He can't do a lot more as an individual, but he hasn't had a lot working with him tonight.
He's had no support whatsoever for most of the time he's had the football. Gary Mercer just runs out wide, drops off for Anthony Farrell. Farrell stepping, going up the middle of the field. Still going Anthony Farrell, no support though. Eventually Allroyd gets there and gets the football. Get the ball out wide, Allroyd to Blackmore. Blackmore, lovely ball out there for Cummins. Cummins is going down the north-hand side. He's got Jason Flowers to beat as he gets the ball back inside. Philisam picks up for Leeds. I thought Cummins was all the way a scorer there, but Castleford held him out. Great cover from Jason Flowers. He couldn't do anything other. Harris now moving the ball across the Castleford defensive sliding. Morley gives it out there wide to Mercer. Mercer goes on his own. Has he got the legs? He puts the ball back inside. Oh, what a pass that was. Absolutely, Mercer should have given the ball the first time to the winger. He throws it back inside. The ball goes on the floor and Castleford pick up. Well, that's the game over now. Game, set and match, because Leeds should have scored there, Phil.
Yeah, last chance again. If you're going to go, you hold on to the ball. If you're tackled, you don't give the pass once you've hit the ground.
Yeah, there's a no one there, and Mercer really should have given the ball to Sterling earlier on. Don't forget, Leeds only need the try at the moment to put them back in front.
Yeah, even in the corner would have done.
Last tackle coming up, so you can expect a big kick downfield from Mike Ford. He's been allowed space, nobody's going to chase him down now. In fact, he steps out of one tackle and another and puts the ball down. Sterling picks it up, and Leeds are coming back now up the middle of the field with Paul Sterling. Great defence though from Castleford. First tackle comes up now. Harris has the football in his hands. There's no organisation in the Leeds attack, and Harris has to take the tackle again. How many times has he been tackled this evening, Phil?
A lot more than Mike Ford.
Certainly a lot more than Mike Ford. In fact, he's been probably tackled in the last 2 minutes more than Mike Ford. Allroyd again looks to step and go himself. Nowhere to go for Graham Allroyd. Must be into the last 2 or 3 minutes of this game now.
Certainly last minute and a half, I think.
Iestyn Harris looking to put the ball out to Anthony Farrell. Farrell trying to go back, but Leeds are trying to go up the middle of the field all the time, Phil. Can't believe that I'm seeing this sort of play from Leeds. Up the middle of the field, one-on-one. Philisam throws the ball back again. Back to Cummins on the wing. Stepping inside Cummins, dodging, dunking, weaving, musting out of one tackle.
And Leeds not making enough ground.
Straight passing across the field and some good running forward with some dummy runners is what Leeds require now. Holroyd again looks to throw a long pass out there. That's found Blackmore in the space now for Leeds. Blackmore going himself for the corner. Oh, Blackmore, oh, he's not in for the try. Would you believe it? He's not in for the try, Blackmore. Sterling, what's happened there? Leeds get a penalty. And the ball's kicked away. Should be a sin bin in there, but it's too late now. Mercer will tap the football. Gets the ball back there to Harris. Harris throws a long ball out to Farrell. Farrell, can he go himself? Will he put the ball out now? Still going Anthony Farrell. Now he's got to be in for the try. He's in for the try. That might be the winner for Leeds, but that's a great, really hard work for this Leeds tonight. Farrell, great try there from Anthony Farrell. Kidded everyone, but really, Richie Blackmore should have put the winger in on the far side.
Well, sometimes in rugby league there's no justice, and we sit here as Leeds fans with smiles on our faces because Leeds have pulled it out the fire at the last minute. Anthony Farrell deserved his try. I mean, come down to Headingley if you want excitement and entertainment, but I just think you should spare a thought for the Castleford players. Absolutely dejected behind their own line. The tackle on Blackmore was sensational to keep him out. It looked as though Leeds had played all their aces. There was nothing left, and Anthony Farrell danced over. The Castleford fans are leaving. There must be tears in their eyes, and if Leeds have won this game, then certainly for Mike Ford there is no justice. Maybe Leeds are doing this season what St Helens did last.
Yes, they won a lot of games in the last minute. Allroyd will take forever with his kick, and so he should. Well, Farrell went over for the try there after Blackmore had looked all the way a scoreline. I thought that Blackmore should have put Sterling in, but he looked too much pace, Richie Blackmore. And then Leeds moved the ball across. Farrell had a huge number of people he could use as a foul. He used them all as a foul. Arced away, just beat the fullback. Allroyd kicks, that's 3 from 3. And Leeds.
Well, again, so we can't say this game's over because we saw that Castleford came straight back last time. But if Leeds can't hold on to this, then they don't deserve to win another game.
And Holroyd.
A successful conversion from the Rhinos, number 4. 14.
Hi, this is Anthony Farrell. Join the charge with Radio Rhino on 1404 AM.
So Leeds now really need to keep men pinned down here. Mike Ford gets the ball away, and surely the Leeds defence won't cave in now. There goes the hooter, so Leeds have it. Well, would you believe it? 18-15, 21-18, 24-21. What a tremendous performance there from Leeds at the end. They managed to score the try. 4 tries to Leeds, 16 points, and 3 goals. 2 from Graham Allroyd, and 1 from 3 from Yestin Harris. Great performance in the second half from both sides, and really Castleford, how can they be at the bottom of Super League when they can play like that? They go to Halifax on Sunday, and Halifax official sat in front of me. He's got a big smile all over his face, and he's hoping that they don't come and play like that.
I think all we can say really there is, again, that's the value of Super League, and 2 great games again.
Well, we've got Chris Murgatroyd here, who's the marketing manager for Halifax. Chris, what did you think of the game tonight?
Well, I'm saying that I'm not as confident about going to Castleford on Sunday as we were before I saw tonight. It was a great game, fantastic close game, good tries at either end, and I think the teams were fairly evenly balanced. But Castleford put on a gutsy performance tonight, and really they would have deserved to win the game. But all credit to Leeds, they came back and they did the business right at the last minute.
OK, that's Chris Murgatroyd from Halifax. I'll just run through the second half scorers. Leeds were trailing 11-6 at half time. Sterling scored a try in the 3rd minute of the second half to make it 10-11. Then Russell replied from dummy half to make it 15-10. It was all over for Leeds, but no, they got it back to with a penalty from Graham Allroyd to make it 15 points to 12. And then Cummins had a try on 66 minutes to put Leeds in the lead for the first time. Allroyd converted superbly from touchline side. 18-15 it was then. Could Leeds hang on? No, they couldn't, because immediately Castleford calmed the field. Middleton and worked the oracle there with Richard Russell. Over for the try. Tonks converted. 21-18, but right on the death there, Anthony Farrell went over for the try, which Graham Allroyd converted. So it's Leeds 24, Castleford Tigers 21.